Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Boo-Boos Bubba here on the morning of Saturday, October 24th, 2020, sitting in for Andy Rooney today. Well, Americans, those of you who remember Andy Rooney know that he had a rant every time on 60 Minutes there. And here's one that he would have done after Thursday night's debate, where former Vice President Biden was saying that oil is on the way out. And, of course, Mr. Trumpy Dumpy took exception of that. And Mr. Biden did a piss poor job of defending why he considers oil down. And so that allowed the Trump to really tear into him. But that's one of the only things that Joe Biden has been honest to you about. And speaking for Mr. Rooney today, and Mr. Rooney, if you can hear me upstairs with Mr. Paul Harvey, I hope you like this one. Oil is on the way out. It has been on the way out for the last 90 years. The reason why oil is a stopgap measure, it was developed by people like Andrew Carnegie because they wanted something other than wood to power energy. And steam was the thing of the day. So here we go. Things come and go, and people have to adapt. If the oil industry goes, those people who have the oil industry have to adapt to something else, or they'll be well into history. That is the norm, not the exception, Americans. You guys are voting yourselves out of existence on the 3rd. So, you know, whether you vote for Trumpy Dumpy or Creepy Joe, you guys are voting yourself out of existence. So there you go. You guys are the same thing as oil. Extinct. But going back to oil. In the old days, the Egyptians were defeated by the Hyksos. Why? Because the Hyksos developed chariots. Well, it took the Egyptians about 150 years to perfect their chariots. And they defeated the Hyksos, started the Middle Kingdom. And for the next 1,000 years, they ruled based on the chariots. Then came other innovations, like the Greek phalanx and the Roman legions, that put the chariots out of business. The Romans still used chariots, but they used them a different way. So the people were still building chariots. But after the Roman Empire fell, chariots became out of disrepute. But the people who built chariots still started to build wagons. Some of them were just old-fashioned wagons. Others were special coats for their nobility, you know, coach. And that started the coach building business, which from the Roman Empire falling in 476 AD to the late 19th century was a big business, coach business. Here in the United States, you had people like Pullman who were building coaches. But then again, the coaches, especially the horse-driven ones, like the stages that were ferrying people and materials to and from, they supplanted the Pony Express. But they were in fact supplanted by the Iron Horse. The trains with their tracks and steam-operated locomotives. But did they go anywhere? No. People like Wells Fargo, who had stages, they went into banking. And Pullman, they went into developing train cars for the very wealthy. And boy, some of those Pullman cars were fun, huh? Then came the automobile. which displaced the coaches and the horses. So then the horse people and the coach people had to do something. So Pullman still kept on hanging on because they had the trains. But the airplane displaced the train eventually, like the car displaced the coach. So that allowed Pullman another 50 some years of heyday. And, you know, the successors to them developed super airplanes like the 747, which was a nice plush class plane on the top, stuff like that. Same with the ocean liners. They got displaced by the airplane. So what happened to the ocean liner builders? Well, some of them are still around, but they're not as good as they were. Same with the oil business. It's going downhill. It's going to be displaced by fusion-driven electricity. And when you find fusion, you'll see that fusion is more safer than oil. It's more safer than fission. But then again, you got to look at our civilization. We're past fusion. We can travel from our star system 3,000 light years from here to yours in 5 days with slipstream, what you call slipstream technology. We have also developed and passed warp and transwarp drive. Something that you guys haven't even touched yet. You're still trying to figure out fusion. See, Americans, Mr. Biden was correct on that. Sitting in for Andy Rooney today, this is your favorite alien and Boo Moose Baba. Good day.